For the black people, what's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
He is joining Chicago famous Mr. Rick Party.
I remember meeting the Brat before she was big. We were going to Jack the Rapper conference in Atlanta.
Jack the Rapper again.
So she's sitting, waiting for a plane. She got her braids in her hair, got her overalls on, and she saw me walk up to the gate. She's like, Rick's Party, oh my God! She's doing all of that. I said, well, who are you? She goes, I'm the Brat. I'm a new rapper from the, I live on the West Side. I'm with So Def. I'm about to... I did some on Chris Cross's song. I think it was the Bomb or something like that? Or
Right.
Yeah. She did some on there. So that was my introduction to her. So she would come back to my show every now and then and help me introduce the Coke Top 99. I remember we played a home jam and had people judge her song, right? And some people like, it's all right, it's okay. And she's like, yo,
Wow.
Straight West Side, man. It was great.
Straight West Side.
Yeah, so.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention. You gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and we are back, Ruthie Moore. Back on you. I see. What is that? A demon? Ruthie and Sonia Escobar. Ruthie got a blue demon. If you are watching us live on Facebook Live, what's the name of that?
Dibs. His name is Dibs. The DePaul mascot is called Dibs.
No, I didn't know he had a name.
Can I ask a question? Does anybody? I did find those. Remember when they had the demon ads all around the city? I found it kind of the church blue demons.
Ooh. No, I told y'all.
Is that like a gargoyle?
DePaul Blue Demon are called the D-Men because we used to have big old blue D's on our football jerseys back when we had a football team back in the day.
Oh, like Xavier.
So it's called the D-Men.
All the Catholic schools had football teams at some point, but then
then they
money.
cost right. They couldn't keep up. Remember, University of Chicago used to have a football team. They still back going, don't they?
They got the first Heisman Trophy winner.
What? Nice fun fact, Todd.
All right. Leave it to Todd. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore.
Well, since I'm rolling, the Heisman Trophy is actually is based on that guy, I forgot his name now, Jay Boucher.
You rolling. You popping pills now?
Ooh. Could you imagine? I do want to see, we got to get Todd a gummy.
Church station. No.
We got to give him some tea.
No candy.
I never liked gummies.
We got to get you tea.
Gummy bears.
We got to get Todd. We're going to hook Todd's tea up for him.
Some butter.
All right, y'all. Ooh, some butter. Ruthie, we got to find those too.
I put it on the list. I put it on there.
Okay. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore.
Spirit Week.
Oh, right. That's right. It's Spirit Week. We're winning. Ruthie Moore. Ruthie, you cold?
Maze, now you know it be freezing up in here.
We got
it's cold outside
on
now.
Let's
Ruthie wearing a winter coat on.
Turn your
I
light
had
up.
to go put it on.
I feel like I'm all hot up in here. It's like I was
a little warm. Usually I'm on
comfortable.
Ruthie's side in this, but
right, it is. Yeah. Ruthie,
So
you need some iron.
Is that what it is?
You need some iron in your blood. Turn on some light. Get you some LED heat. All right, y'all. It's time. Okay. Did you all know that the state is shutting down tomorrow? Essentially. They're going back. All restaurants, no more. So, first of all, y'all noticed it was snowing when we came in here today.
Yes.
Right? I started to take a Instagram.
I was finna call off. But then I realized you can't call off from somewhere you ain't getting paid. I'm just going to have to tell them I ain't coming.
I was like, please don't no call, no show. I was like, Ruthie, every
no
day.
call, no show.
Right. So, look, when you come in the door, it was snowing, and I was thinking about the fact that while it was snowing, it's time for the restaurants to go outside. The governor has declared that we are going back into mitigation, and they are closing all indoor dining, which means that if you ain't got a bubble or a tent, you are stuck.
Right.
Now, no, it's suburban Cook County restaurants. It's Kane, it's Will, it's DuPage, it's Metro East. Check this out. They are saying that the black state rep seat down there, Monica Bristow, that used to be the East St. Louis seat.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Clyburn,
but the Senate, not the Senate, but the House.
Oh,
seat.
well, for me,
Clyburn was Belleville.
Young.
Well, now it moved on from Wyvetta, but now it's Monica Bristow.
Okay.
And Monica Bristow is actually in danger of losing her seat.
What?
Because white folks downstate are turning out in droves for Trump. And this restaurant shutdown is driving people, like this whole closing down the state. I gotta ask you, did you all also see Dr. Ezike breakdown?
Yes.
Let me ask a question. Well, I
missed that.
I don't know how you missed it. It was national news. They actually played it on Meet the Press this week.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man, I didn't.
Now I gotta ask because I felt like I was like, was it okay? Was it genuine? Do you think those were genuine tears, or do you think they were a little, you got it? Play it. Play it.
Yesterday we lost an additional 31 lives for a total of 9,418 deaths. These are people who started with us in 2020 and won't be with us at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, she's taking a breath, she's turning around and crying.
We are reporting 3,874 new cases for a total of 33 confirmed cases since the start of this pandemic. Excuse me, please.
Now she turns. She takes the tissue. That's the governor offering her tissue. She's gathering herself, getting her composure, taking a deep breath.
I'm sorry.
And she returned.
We have had 364,033 cases since the start of this pandemic. 2,498 individuals were reported to be in the hospital overnight. Of those, 511 COVID patients were in the ICU, and 197 patients were on ventilators. In the last 24 hours, 82,256 lab tests were reported for a total of more than 7.1 million tests. My message to you is to stay strong. I've never run a marathon, but I have the utmost regard for those who've been able to train and plan and finish a marathon. But this is a difficult race when you can't actually see the end point, and I'm sorry that that's the message I have.
Man, okay, I'm gonna give it to her. I guess I couldn't imagine having to do a death count every day.
Oh, that's stressful.
Months.
I mean, I've never done it either, but I know it's stressful when you almost feel, I mean, was it like almost 12 million people?
Okay.
So she's literally trying to keep something like 1 million people alive. That's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when people are fighting you about it all the time.
There's definitely real life human impacts behind these numbers. And I think also like her and her family have been getting death threats and things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if she wasn't.
The same people that don't want
to wear the mask.
Yeah,
right.
like so I think it's a tough job being the face of, I don't want to say the face of death, but like being the face of this pandemic that you legit cannot see an end for.
Right, but she's human, so
low-key, so sometimes I think, you know how like after she cried and then she said, I'm sorry, she apologized. I don't think she has to apologize. I think she could just hit him with the excuse me, and maybe she needs some, what I call them mental health days. Just a few days off to like regroup.
Okay, I feel you on
yeah.
that. So let me ask a question though. How do you think the shutdown is playing in Illinois? Do you think people have reached COVID fatigue? Not just Dr. ZK. But one of the things I don't feel that I see, interesting, that while people seem to castigate Trump on his cavalier attitude towards the mask and towards the disease,
mm-hmm.
I almost feel like people are like, screw this disease, I'm tired of being in the house. And he's playing to that. I was just looking at the response of Illinoisans to the fact that the governor was going to shut down, knowing that those numbers are how they are. And people are upset. People do not want to shut down.
Yeah, I did see something about that the restaurant industry is pushing back to say, How you know it's us that's spreading this? What's the evidence that the restaurants are what's causing this this spike in the spread?
Right. So what's happening is
it's the only place people gather.
It's not the only place people gather.
In really big numbers.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think if you go to the park right now, if you go outside, it just depends on where you go. I mean, they just had a giant basketball tournament 2 weeks ago. Like, all the all-star kids were playing, right? And it was well known. And I'm suggesting that it's like, to me, you're in or you're out. I feel like this thing is confusing. Mm-hmm. And I think the more they do this, I do feel like they push people to Trump world.
It's not confusing. We know exactly what's going on.
So
we know that the state is divided in more than one sector. I mean, we've got us urbanites up here. You got Ruthie and her people down there. And then if you go further down, black people disappear in spots. I mean, there's no black folks. And those people generally are the ones who really push the hardest when it comes to this so-called rights. So if you don't, I mean, it's simple stuff. If you don't, like I said the other day, if you don't take your castor oil early and you're like, ooh, that was awful, but it'll keep you healthy later, and we people refuse to do it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're never going to get rid of it.
Let's talk about this when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show. How far?
Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
In the Chicago way, I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to, good thing you're listening to good music and not behind the scenes.
Y'all off the chain.
Okay, if you had only three people in the world, 3 men and 3 women to repopulate the earth. Who would that be?
Ruthie said
no.
Ruthie said Shamar Moore.
Todd said Megan Thee Stallion.
Look, and everybody know Shamar Moore ain't helping procreate nothing around the rest of the earth. That you got to make sure you get. They got to be. We said procreate, man. We said repopulate, man. You no.
My name Bennett.
You ain't in it.
Nope.
Neither is Shamar Moore. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Lord have mercy, Jesus. So we are talking about this COVID.
You know what cabin fever is?
When you want to get out.
Right.
Get out, right?
You've been inside for
Pac-Man fever. It's driving me
crazy.
crazy.
Yes, but cabin fever, it's really like in Minnesota and Alaska.
North.
Yeah.
Well,
you've been in so long, you're like, I got to go out. I don't care if I may die. And that's what we're going through right now.
We gonna die anyway.
So
yeah,
let me ask you a question. I feel like Donald Trump is acting out what most Americans feel like. I think that there's a lot of people that are willing to take a chance. I do. Even knowing that 10% of the population is taking the test.
Maze, we do it every day when we go out to the grocery store, to the gas station. You taking the chance.
So how do we live in this world like that?
The way you live, and the problem with the president was first you had to take the hard line. You take the hard line for 3 months, then people get all upset. But
the mayor took the hard line.
If you put your foot around for all this time, and you're like, okay, you can kind of do it, and you can, and the president's telling you, oh, just forget it. Go out and buy something. Nobody actually took the hard knocks.
What, didn't we take the hard knocks in Chicago?
Except for us.
Okay, but we're still flying through the roof.
Oh, that's because white people didn't take the hard knocks. I heard you talking about going down Lakeshore Drive, and those white folks were out there on the beach like, woo, there's a pan of who?
So, because, I think that it also, what role do you think Halloween plays in this? See, I feel like there's mixed messages being sent out. Honestly. I truly believe that there is mixed messaging being given to people, and it essentially creates this environment where nobody knows what to take seriously. I feel like I could look at the list of rules and be like, so wait a minute. When the mayor tells me that I can have people over, up to 6 people over at my house, but only till 10 o'clock, you've lost me.
Well, after 10 o'clock, things happen.
That's the point, hater, right? You know what?
She's trying to tell you how you live your life, bro.
And she, of all people, should not want to be telling people how to live their life after 10 o'clock.
My name's Bennett.
So I guess, what do Americans feel? Like, how do you think this COVID shutdowns that are happening right before the election are going to play in it?
Ruthie, you young and single and wild.
So I've been kind of asking people like, how do y'all feel about the pandemic? Just younger, actually, I've been asking younger black men, like, do y'all still be going outside and doing, and they still be going out, frolicking?
Frolicking.
I think part
Maze
of it,
wants to ask you, what young man do you know?
Frolicking. I think part of it is that when you live in a place like Illinois, where you go from summertime shy to fall to like this horrible winter
in a week,
in a
a day,
people are like, hold on, I gotta get out a little bit before the winter time comes.
I literally was just out at 75-degree weather playing golf, and then next thing I know, I'm like, where's my long underwear?
Right? So I think people do have cabin fever. People are trying to get out. Part of it is it almost seemed to me like we kind of got this resurging messaging like all at one time. Like all at once, everybody's like, "Whoa, we got spikes across the world. Everybody be cool." And it happened like all at.
But we knew it was coming.
Yeah, they did the forecast.
We've been predicting it.
I feel like from the first, since January, they told us that this was gonna happen.
But what's the preparation been though?
That's my point. And I think even when they opened the door, they didn't say open the door because we got to come back in. It's like they flung the door open and then said, "Oh, y'all tripping," when they said close the door again. And it's when it's like. Everybody stop talking. Like, you running around and everybody say, come inside. You be like, ma'am, I'm way over here.
But I think they're talking from the historical standpoint. I have to do a little more research on that, but I think they're like, this always happens.
So let me ask a question. Are you having people for Thanksgiving?
No.
Are you?
No. You know, I did want to go spend time with my family, but coming here every morning, being exposed to y'all people.
You got to quarantine yourself.
That's what I'm saying. I would need to quarantine myself for 2 weeks before I go spend time with my family. For real.
I'm going to have to request about a week off.
No, legit. I have thought, like, this is like a real life thing that I've been struggling with. Is do I take the time off to make sure that I can be around my family? Like, these are like real life decisions that you have to make.
That's right. We were talking about going to Texas at some point, and we were like, whoop, yep, it's on the list.
So does this mean I can't go on vacation? Like, do you got to go somewhere?
Yeah, you can go on vacation.
You can.
But you're going to have to go to some state like Maine.
What about all the people
Maine
going
was
to
on the
Mexico
list.
right now?
I know some people going to Mexico.
Everybody going to Mexico. Too. It's like everybody. I was like, man, what if we just broadcasted from Mexico?
I got my passport.
I'm saying we could broadcast from Mexico, and then we could just quarantine, and then we just go from Mexico to the studio, right? I could take the Comrex. We could all just broadcast from our beachfront home, and then somebody want to call in and give us a call. You want to call 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. You trying to give us a call. It's Doc. Now look, you got the pick. That's Dr. Whitaker want to call in. Come in, call in, Dr. Call in, Dr. Whitaker. You're more than welcome to give us a call and give us some perspective.
Yes, please.
But I'm still trying to tell you, what I see outside right now, let me ask a question. If the restaurants were open this weekend, with everything that we know, with all the daily daily death updates, would people still go? Would they be inside?
Yes.
Yes. But doesn't it seem weird to go into a place having to wear a mask, but you can take it off to eat? Like, it just don't make sense. That's why I said this is kind of science.
And that
well, you gotta eat.
But when you take off, but I'm just saying, you taking off your mask,
close it all down.
It just seems like it doesn't quite add up. Like,
it never does. And let me ask a question.
You know, you're also fighting. Cabin fever is not just you just running out one day. Cabin fever is also you killing your spouse. So that's probably why they want you to get out every once in a while.
Damn, Todd, you took that somewhere deep. Wow. I mean, domestic violence, depression, mental health issues are really, truly on the rise, for real.
Say that one
That's
more
why
time.
I just said, what did I just say? Mental health, domestic violence, substance abuse is on the rise. Did y'all peep how? So in Chatham, there's a liquor store next to. So there's a liquor store. It was about during the uprisings. There was about a SWAT team of cops in their riot gear guarding this liquor store, while all these pharmacies and all these other places like went up. And I was like, why are they guarding this liquor store? I just could not figure out why they had these SWAT team people guarding this liquor store. And I just sat and I said, wow, because they don't want the black people stealing the liquor. Y'all can go steal everything else. Y'all can go into the pharmacy, but we gonna guard this liquor store. I got some pictures of it because it was that striking in comparison to me.
It was
That's
actual
you
police
need it for self-medication.
In the riot gear, guarding this liquor store. It threw me off.
That or they paid him.
Yeah, that's probably what
That's really what happened. Give us a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Tax burden of the average middle-class American goes way beyond income taxes. There are sales taxes, real estate taxes, gasoline taxes, and many, many more. As an international businessman, I know that by reducing the billions of dollars we give to other countries, we could help fund our own country. We need to rethink our tax laws and lower the taxes for our own citizens.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them.
Be like, May said. Remy said a Jukathon day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart attack.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIFTBPN. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, as well as Sonia Escobar. Hey, y'all, occasionally, every once in a while, big willies hit me up. They be like, hold it, I got something I got to say. Now, I know that I done touched something when my text message go off, and it is the one and only Dr. Eric Whitaker, and he is on the live line wanting to give some perspective on this madness that is COVID-19. Dr. Whitaker, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, brother?
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
To
Maze, Todd, Ruthie, and Sonia. Hey, and been enjoying your show, and just wanted to call in, as it related to Dr. Ezike, and mainly from the perspective that I sat in that role from 2003 to 2007, and was in charge of pandemic flu planning. And when this sort of thing jumps off, they put up the Emergency Operations Center, which is a 24/7 operation. And I can tell you, I had an incident where we had monkeypox, which was a variant of smallpox. It came to the country for the first time in the history of North America. And we didn't know if it was biologic or if it was a naturally occurring virus. That was for 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. And I was wiped out after that, going 24/7. And so just imagine when you're on call for 24/7 for months. And I've seen all of the models, because, again, we've been planning for this sort of episode for a lot of years. And I took my family, and we packed up for 5.5 months, and we ain't talked to nobody, nobody, because we know how deadly this is. And the other piece of it is you're taught from the CDC and on out that trust with the public is the most critical thing you have. And Ruthie talked about, I think, that we've been having some mixed messages. And that's why what Donald Trump does is so important, that if he sends a mixed message, then people don't know what to do, and we end up what we got. Mm-hmm. And so this is difficult. This is going to be hard. We probably won't have everybody vaccinated, until sometime, towards the end of next year, mid to end of next year. And there's some data that just came out yesterday that talked about how immunity may be fading, so people are subject to get reinfected. So the overall message is we got to take this thing seriously because we have more chronic diseases than the typical population, and we may end up getting decimated by this. And so anyway, I just wanted to get some perspective on and Zeke and when you see so many people die, it's hard. It's not an easy thing when folks are dropping and you're trying to do all you can do, and there's nothing you can do to stop the pain and the death.
Hey, Dr. Whitaker, I appreciate that, and we appreciate that perspective. And I think it's always important, so always give us a call. Hey, congratulations on Zing Health as well. We see you doing big things. We look forward to y'all being sponsors. Some point, Todd need to.
We need to talk about your demographics. I'm all down for that. I want to know how many older folks you got.
We got actually mostly all older folks. Actually, if you're on Facebook, then you notice where the older folks go to convene and to learn their information. But Doc, we're gonna share that with you. So let's get that together and let's make something happen. Cause we got Todd. He is old folks. He got his AARP card.
I do.
Mine is coming this year. So it looks like we got a lot. I'm turning 50, so it's a lot we can talk about. But hey, y'all, that is Dr. Eric Whitaker, worldwide, world-renowned specialist in the world of
epidemiology.
Epidemiologist. That's a Celine word. Hey, Doc, we appreciate you. And tell the other doctor, Dr. Cheryl Whitaker, your lovely wife, we said hello as well, too. All right, y'all. We are... Okay. All right, man. No problem. All right, let's move on.
You know that Ruthie Moore still takes cod liver oil, right?
So I was... Actually, did you know you can't find cod liver oil in the stores right now?
Really?
Actually, you can't find castor oil in the stores. Cod liver oil is coming in because everybody at the crib tight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Check out some of the Whole Foods.
I went to Whole Foods.
Which one you? But you better go to the one in Inglewood.
Oh yeah, okay.
Maze ain't going to Inglewood.
First of all, you better stop that. I was in Inglewood just a few weeks ago. All right, don't hate. Shout out to my shout out to the.
He took his wife's car.
No, I'm not allowed to drive her car unless I'm driving her.
I know that's right. That's what I'm talking about, Madam President.
Man, I be like, I gotta get that. She might as well give me a cap.
You gotta open up the door and drive the car too.
Now, Ruthie, if you don't know me, then you probably don't recognize. But I always get the door for any. First of all, my wife. But as the president, I'm extra. I be like, I be trying to give her the respect that other people don't seem to recognize. It's crazy to me. It's like nobody. It's like, have you ever noticed that people? Let me stop. I ain't leaving.
I have such a personal question. If necessary, would y'all hold y'all wife's purse just for like 5 minutes?
I hold my wife's purse.
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Every time we go to an event, I'm holding my wife's purse.
Good.
Right?
And I don't even go in it.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm scared to go in a purse. Like even to this day, if Carrie say go in my purse and get I'd be like, I bring the purse
her the whole purse
and be like,
that's what I do. I fear my wife has mouse traps in that crack.
I just remember when you used to have the old ladies used to have a purse and used to be a little balled up tissue in the bottom and peppermints and like the granny purse.
Envelopes with bills in it.
Yes, and money.
and money. All right, y'all. I want to move on because I want to talk about Jared Kushner. Huh? Oh, no. Let's take the calls. We got 2 calls. Let's go to Frank. Look, Frank. Now, I know you're a regular on the show. You got to keep it to a minute, though, bro. You got to keep it to a minute this go-around because I got to move on to my subject. Go.
Okay, I'm on it kind of fast, and thanks for taking my call, man.
All the time.
And good morning to you, Brother Todd.
Good morning.
Sister Ruthie, and Sonia song.
Morning.
Hey, listen, Maze, we might as well accept the fact that as long as Donald Trump is in office, we're never going to get a true handle on this pandemic. Okay? Believe it or not, if he had done the right thing from the beginning, right today, we'll be back to normal. Okay, I agree with everything what that doctor just said. Everything, we're on the same page. Right today, we'll be back to normal. Only difference will be if you're an American citizen, you can't leave the country, and you can't come into the country unless you're an American citizen. Okay, until there is a vaccine, a bona fide vaccine. But we got to get this guy out of office. Okay, and even there's a vaccine. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a while before it can be distributed. You know what I'm saying? To by everyone. But we got to shut the country down for 30 days. But as long as Donald Trump is in office, I repeat myself, we're not going to get a true handle on this. And that's what the problem is. He wanted this pandemic to have a devastating impact on voter turnout, but it backfired on him.
Okay.
Look at exploding numbers that's turning out. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going on.
Okay. Thanks, Frank. I think that the numbers that are turning out for early vote, though, are really just the same Democratic voters that were going to be turning out on election day, and it's going to balance out. I think you'll see a spike, but I don't think it'll be that much. Let's go to Byron. Byron, you're on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, good people.
Good morning, Byron.
Hey, just a few little facts. First fact is that in 2019, over 58 people died of the flu. How could you have stopped that? Next facts. In Italy, they had a true lockdown. Nobody can go outside. Guess what's happening now? A second wave come, and they're doing worse than we are. They had a true lockdown where nobody can go outside, and they were fining people thousands of dollars. Now look at what's happening in Europe now. They had a true lockdown. Pillsbury Doughboy comes on every day and gives us an update and tells us to wear a mask and social distance. Look at what happened in Illinois. Also, Littlefoot has been doing the same thing. Wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart. And look at where we at in Chicago. All I'm saying is this virus is very contagious. You're going to get it or you're not going to get it. It's just God's will. It's like the flu. No one can stop that flu during the winter months. And no one even tried. But over 58,000 people died in 2019. All I'm saying is you cannot blame Donald Trump for this. Believe me, he had a great economy coming in. He did not want this flu. I mean, it just set him back. No way Joe Biden would have won, but even got close to Donald Trump if that virus didn't come. He would have won in a landslide because of the economy. That's all I got to say this morning, and I hope Ruthie is looking good this morning.
Todd, you better say something back.
What? I don't know. What?
You supposed to say, yes, Ruthie, you look very nice today. There you go. Ruthie looks very nice every day. How's that?
Yes, you
Hey,
Okay.
Ruthie, he fighting with you now. You
Right,
got
Ruthie. Hey, see, Todd. Now that's what you gonna see, Ruthie. You are protected. I got your back, Byron. Don't be looking at Ruthie like that. We have to call you. It's Byron. Now we got to watch you, Byron. We got to keep out. We
didn't know about this about Byron. I mean,
Byron.
It's getting longer.
Right. I was like,
that came out of the blue. I didn't know what to do.
Right. I thought Ricky, you got competition. Randy. Look, I think Randy got crossed off the list.
Don't do Randy.
That's you be doing Randy.
Don't do Randy.
Randy. Okay, Randy. Randy.
And you know what Byron didn't tell you?
What didn't he tell
Is that the reason that Italy was on a lockdown? Because at the beginning they did nothing and they were getting devastated, and so they had to really.
He talking about the second one though, because they stayed on lockdown. They never really came back.
Right. You're sure they stayed on lockdown, but
They have an older population.
And I think
that.
most of the deaths are coming out of, well, a lot of these deaths are coming out of these nursing homes where it's concentrated.
Ooh.
Like it's concentrated in certain spaces that I think that don't add the perspective.
Mental health facilities.
Yep. All the places where they're crowding people.
Assisted living.
Again, like, and I think you gotta look at the, I think this virus and the way it's being played to me is going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Like did you see President Obama with his megaphone for 13 people? Mm-hmm. And Trump out there with 13,000 people in the same state? Like these white people are not fearing the disease the same way. They said, "Don't tread on me."
Globally, this is reverberating globally, and I think that I think we looking so local but we got to pay attention to like the international foreign policy implications of all this, because this is just my humble opinion, but the great superpower that's America is getting a little weak.
it's not just your opinion.
How dare you?
I saw.
First of all,
Let's get a little weak.
I saw this on CBS this morning on Sunday,
Mhm.
and they had done some kind of thing, and people's opinion of America as a superpower is falling.
I don't like that.
You want to get your guns? You want to get them up?
I don't like that.
I'm sorry, I meant to say people from other countries.
You know how powerful an American passport is or was?
Mm-hmm.
Like powerful. You got an American passport. You international. If you get in trouble, all you got to do is say embassy, and you shall be protected. That's a little tip, a little travel tip. But now, an American passport going
Ruthie's
global.
the ugly American.
Listen, you know if you black, you can blend in a little bit until you start talking, and then they like.
Oh, they know exactly then.
They got me. I told you when I was in Paris. They pulled me over. Like, if I was black walking around Paris, and them cops was like, you, come on over here. They thought I was from the suburbs. I was like, man, America. You walk on and you go.
Traveling in Ghana, we got pulled over so many times just so they can get their little piece of the pie. It's bad. It was so normal. It was normal. It threw me off. I said, they taking bribes.
Shoot.
Or they call them gifts.
I got to feed my family. Get them a hamburger.
It threw me off. Like, I couldn't believe it.
I can believe it.
I can.
I remember when we came home from the cruise, Puerto Rico to Miami, and we're going through the airport, and there's a person standing there, and they stop people and like, where are you coming from? So I go right through. They see Janine, they say, hey, and she says, what? And they say, oh, go ahead.
All right, y'all. We're going to move on because when we come back, we're going to talk about Jared Kushner saying black people must want to be successful. So I saw the headline, and I feel like, anything anybody say now, they don't turn it into something. Did you read the story? Because I thought the story, actually, when you read the story, it does make sense a little bit. But I also think that we don't really know what success is. And I think that plays into the whole dynamic that we'll talk about when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. So many politicians are bought by special interests and major corporations instead of the citizens who elected them. I would not be bought. I would finance my own campaign in good faith to the voters of Illinois and promise to serve with integrity at all times. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
You fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what it do?
No sense, I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar. Yesterday, Jared Kushner. I saw the headlines. People were going crazy. Posted it all in the Lion's Den. Hey, you are, by the way, in case you don't know, you are listening to What's in It for the Black People Media live on WBGX 1570 AM. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. You can watch us on Facebook Live on the Maze Jackson page. You can get us on the Maze Jackson channel on YouTube. You can also listen on the TuneIn app. It's Spirit Week. Ruthie representing DePaul Black Student Union, Black Alumni Association.
Go Blue Demons.
I'm representing Malcolm X College right now, but I got to give a big shout out to my fellow Illini,
INI.
I don't know if you get to say that.
I'll say it with more enthusiasm if you want me to.
You can say that because your taxes go to University of Illinois.
And I've been to plenty of games. I done partied down there in the barns with the people.
Some of my best memories.
The barn parties.
What you knowing about the barn parties?
Stop playing. Like
the white people barn parties?
Both. The black Greeks and the whites.
What? You know what
I
loved about
Chicago ain't nothing but a hop and a skip down to Champaign.
You know what? Champaign we used to be the spot too. Y'all missed the good times though, but y'all know nothing about that. All right, y'all, that's the old school. Shout out to XU.
Xavier.
Is it Xavier or is it Xavier?
Well, whatever.
If you black, it's Xavier.
It's Xavier.
Xavier.
Shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife. I wonder if she representing.
David in the house.
What's the mascot for Xavier?
Northeastern.
Well, Xavier Gold Rush. So we don't have a guy running around in a big old nugget.
They couldn't afford a mascot.
Oh, it's the idea of the Gold Rush.
Yeah.
So what do y'all do? What's y'all squad name? What's y'all cheerleaders name? The Fighting Gold Rushers?
I don't know what the
Gold Diggers.
The Pickers.
The Gold Diggers.
Oh, it's probably the Pickers.
The Pickers.
The Gold Diggers. That was actually Dean Martin's group of ladies on his TV specials.
Oh, I never saw Dean Martin. All right. Shout out to Northeastern Illinois University. Shout out to, every time I think of Northeastern, I think of Dr. Conrad Worrell, Dr. Bob Starks. I think about the Carruthers Center and the School of Inner City Studies and the people that they have produced in the basement. The basement. All right, y'all. Jared Kushner. He said the president has offered quite a few policies, but if black people want to be successful, they're gonna have they have to want to be successful. And I'm imagine I could see how somebody could clearly take that and run with it.
That's that pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of talk.
I think that's. I would say that's the. I would say that would be a basic option or presumption. I'm gonna start here. I'm going to start from the premise that any white person that I talk to, liberal or conservative, is going to say something stupid or something that I could easily misinterpret or I could easily take offense to, right? Every conversation I get into with a white boy or a white woman or a white man, somewhere in there they make a presumption or they demonstrate their implicit bias. Now, I can stop every single time and try and jump on it and try and turn it into or I can say, what's the bigger picture here? Now, if I want to be combative, and if my goal is to to turn it into a race thing, and I'm not saying play the race card, I'm saying if my goal is to not understand if I am going there to pick a situation, then I can always do that. I'm going to say in this scenario, what Jared Kushner appeared to me to be saying was, we have offered some policies, some things that we believe could be of benefit to black people. But if you can't speak to if you can't even acknowledge that this is a good thing, then I can't. You got to want to do something. You can't just want to complain. Now, I would tell you that argument where it's black folks just want to complain is not just Jared Kushner.
It's a whole bunch of other white folks.
Almost every white person. Anytime you confront white people on the benefit of their whiteness, I don't care if it's the liberal white lady from up north, she has fought for her right to, we are complaining. Now, I would also argue that if $120,000 a year puts you in the top 1% of black people, I would argue that most black people don't even know what success is. Not economic. Not economic. And so I want to make sure that let me back up. What is success for black people? What would you consider a successful black person? Start with Ruthie.
Dang. You mean like collectively or just not like my personal opinion?
What's a successful black person?
I think spiritual grounding, financial fortitude.
Give me an example. Tangible.
Oh, that's tough, Maze. I think success is measured differently. Are we talking about, in Kushner's term, is he thinking of economic success?
Give me an economically successul person. Give me an example of who you envision as a black economic success.
I'm going to, so the first person that's coming into my mind is the Obamas because they paid off their student loans.
Ruthie got student loans on the mind.
That's what I'm saying. That is like one of the top issues that is of concern to me. So I'm going to say the Obamas because they paid off them student loans.
So if you can pay off your student loans, that you consider that successful?
After
having a successful black person?
Yes, after having a law school degree, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess there is something to it because I do know people who are like, your age and they're still paying their student loans.
Might I argue that that literally explains when I say I'm not sure we know what success is, like economic success.
Because we down bad. We be in the hole. We start off in the hole.
I think getting rid of debt is a pretty important thing, though.
Especially I debt that you accumulated because the system told you that you needed to further your education in a certain way. So this ain't my debt. This is the system's debt.
I'm not quite as militant as Angela Davis over there, but
so I would argue that we have limited examples of success. And so we don't even know how to pursue it. I was listening to Book of Dawn yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. And I was listening to Wilbur Millhouse, and he's built a $40 million company. And as I was listening to him, right?
It's an international company.
Right. But as I was listening, I was thinking, like, how many black people know any of that? Like, any of that.
You mean about Millhouse?
Mm-hmm. But just the processes.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, fathom a $40 million entity and the growth strategy for it. I was just thinking, like, show me the example of black success in Chicago. When we come back, I want you to tell me what it looks like. What does black success look like in Chicago? Give us a call. 872-259-7474. And I want y'all to call too. Because I want y'all to give me an example of who is black and successful. Right? I remember black success. Is it a job? Is it a business owner? Is success measured in the external or the and how do you define that success? Because how many other people? What I saw yesterday with the Millhouse thing that was pretty cool, that I think is something we're going to talk about a little bit later too, is how many success to me is being able to pay y'all worth without ever thinking about it. Right? Like being able to say, who can I don't even know who can put you on and be black in Chicago. Like, put you on. Like, you reach a certain step. What is black and successful in Chicago? This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
He is joining Chicago famous Mr. Rick Party.
I remember meeting the Brat before she was big. We were going to Jack the Rapper conference in Atlanta.
Jack the Rapper again.
So she's sitting, waiting for a plane. She got her braids in her hair, got her overalls on, and she saw me walk up to the gate. She's like, Rick's Party, oh my God. She's doing all of that. I said, well, who are you? She goes, I'm the Brat. I'm a new rapper from the, I live on the West Side. I'm with So Def. I'm about to meet Jermaine Dupri. I did some on Chris Cross's song. I think it was it The Bomb or something like that? Or
Right.
Yeah. She did some on there. So that was my introduction to her. So she would come back to my show every now and then and help me introduce the Coke Top 99. I remember we played a home jam and had people judge her song, right? And some people were like, it's all right, it's okay. And she's like, yo,
Wow.
Straight West Side, man. It was crazy.
Straight West Side.
Yeah, so.
Chicago famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The blackest conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
1 to 3 p.m.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to last, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' start. They ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar. Y'all, Spirit Week on What's in It for the Black People Media. And once again, the morning show has done it.
We the best.
We the best. And Sonia, if I see you in another picture with the other people, you got to change your clothes. You can't be. I seen you double dipping. I seen they try. First of all, Book of Dawn talking about they won, and the only person in their picture was Dawn. Oh no, so, Lisa E was in the picture too, but she didn't. And Ron don't even count.
His outfit was nice yesterday. Ron do count. Don't do Ron. Shout out to CSU, Chicago State University.
Dapper. He looked dapper.
And he had a chain on with his suit.
Exactly. A chain on with his suit.
Kill him with the
You lost the points with that right there. You know what I'm saying? That's all right, man. Ron had his little vest on, trying to be
with the jacket and everything.
Ain't nobody.
And it was Sigma Blue, Maze. Come on now.
First of all, it was not Sigma Blue. Let's be clear.
What's Sigma Blue? Royal?
Royal blue.
What color was his blue?
Not Sigma Blue. I had on royal blue yesterday. Thank you very much.
Like a cobalt.
I don't know what the hell
I
it
think it
was.
was cobalt.
They didn't win. How about that? And Ruthie, what are you doing? Do I need to talk about you and Ron? Do I need to? Okay, don't have me.
You know, I'm morning show all day, baby.
All right, till the world blow up. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson
I'm just
Show.
playing Dawn.
Girl power.
I'm just playing Dawn.
Dawn tried to have some boots on yesterday. Talk about because she had some boots up to her knees.
Dawn go to the cobbler to get her shoes fixed.
That's why I do actually love having a rich midday host. We got a Keurig out of it. Next time we got to tell her. Next time I was working the Millhouse crew while she was in there. I was working them. I was like, psst, y'all know that y'all can have the Millhouse coffee machine right here in the studio if you get us like a cappuccino maker.
She said she was, but we ain't got no water line. I asked too, Maze.
Oh,
No.
Infrastructure.
Man, you know what? Shout out to Dawn. You know what I appreciate? The buy-in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a labor of love, but I promise y'all, this gonna be like what was that water? It's gonna be like vitamin water. It's gonna be like vitamin water. Y'all laughing right now. Y'all gonna be like vitamin water. Y'all got equity, and when this whole thing blows, and y'all like when they sell your shares and they sell your shares,
like what 50 said.
Yeah,
I took quarter water soda in bottles for $2. Coca-Cola came and bought it, and I'm like, what the?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So I want y'all like there's a vision to this, right? And it's like I really am. It's so you know what my vision of success is.
What is it?
Is being able to let my children do whatever it is that they want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so if my son decides that he wants to pursue a basketball career and he is 5'7", and he only gets to be 5'7", but he can go to every camp and do everything until he has the ability to be the best basketball player he can be.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to give him that. If my daughter decided she wanted to be an artiste, I want her to be able to go to the artiste school of the world and spend her time pursuing her dream. My other vision of success revolves around the people that I choose to surround myself with. At age 50, I really feel getting to age 50 in January. I've decided that the other part of my success is really being with people that I want to be with and working with the people that I want to work with to build something bigger for our community. And in that, I also want to build wealth. But I think my ultimate success is the ability to build wealth with the people on the team. Right? So I don't want to be the only person, right, that I don't want to say has the Porsche. Right? No, but
it ain't no fun racing by yourself, huh? When you in a caravan of Nissans.
Exactly. and so the premise is that I feel like every day, I feel like we're almost at a level of success. I feel like after the first of the year, we finna pop. Like I think that as we continue to go into this space of digital and we continue to grow and as we rapidly reach 1 million viewers or engagements, a million reach per month with about 600,000 engagements a month, it is my belief that it's going to turn into something.
Mm-hmm.
But when it turns into something, I will consider it successful when we all are there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, when it goes down, I want to be like, hey, y'all, it's going down.
I see success as going to my plane. I'm going to North Carolina to play some golf. See y'all.
Hey, you know what, though?
That's good.
But you got to envision it. You got to be able to see it, right? And I don't know if a lot of people can see it. And so...
I can see it.
I know that's right.
It's got gold-plated seats.
Oh, don't get the gold-plated seats. Get the gold trim, right? Get the leather seats, right? The gold, get the gold trim. The gold-plated seats might weigh it down. You remember
right. And that you got that fuel is expensive.
And that fuel is expensive, man. You think about jet fuel. Ruthie, what's success to you?
You know, I guess I'm a little bit more like intrinsic with my success, because for me, success.
Oh no. Look at Eric about
really, it looks like the ability to sit down and read a book, not have to think about work. Like, legit, to me, success is more like peace of mind. Like, can I come here from 6 to 9 and then do whatever else I want to do for the rest of my day?
There's somebody with no children, Mace.
So it looks like freedom, and not just financial freedom, but just mentally being free, spiritually being free, being able to afford good food. Like, I don't gotta eat the noodle bricks, you know. So success it's pretty simple for me. Like, I want to be able to take care of my parents. That's a goal of mine. I want to be able, like, okay, Ma, you ain't got to go to work no more, because she already talking about quitting. I'm like, Ma, I ain't got no money now. So that's what success looks like, is being able to take care of my family. Like, because I feel like I'm that person right now.
Ruthie sounds like an athlete, don't she?
Sound like a what?
An athlete. All athletes say they want to take care of their mom.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think it's just athletes, though.
I
think that's the dream of everybody I know.
Parents.
Right. To be able to. Now, some of us, that's because our parents didn't have. Oh, you about to knock the. You like, hey, thank you, Todd. That was a good save.
Or they just don't have. I want my parents to have a certain quality of life as they get up in age.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want my daddy to have to go to the veterans home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to be able to afford to bring somebody in. Like,
yeah, okay, yeah.
That's what success looks like to me.
Okay. Todd, did we get your idea of success?
He said a plane.
Oh, yeah, I want to be able to go to a plane and just get on. You ready, Mr. Stroger? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Sonia, what success look like to you?
When I can go see my daughter whenever I want. So having money for a plane ticket.
Well, and you got to have a replacement.
Right.
Look at me.
Just you know, really on the lowest level, it's just having the money to go see her if I wanted to.
You know what? It's funny, Ruthie, you said the ability to read a book.
Yes, that's like a luxury where I'm at right now.
Ruthie, I can't even read anymore. I don't read no more.
That's because you get to get some different glasses, man. You can't even read your dang on phone.
So I got to do audiobooks.
Right. You know.
Shout out to audiobooks.
It's funny, Ruthie, that you mentioned the whole being able to read a book. One of the things that I'm starting to enjoy after being being close as I get to this age is actually the ability to read a book in peace, or to watch TV in peace, or to be able to do something that is not work related and feel at peace that I'm not missing something or I'm slacking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when Saturday comes, I got a list of things that I didn't have to do during the week, that I didn't get done during the week. Mm-hmm. And I do think that success will be when I can, and we're still building something. But I also think success is working with having to be around the people that I want to be around.
Enjoying what
like,
you do.
Yeah. You know what success also is to me? Success means that I can take this extra $5 and support this black business. I don't have to go the cheap route because I don't have the money. So now I got to get this inferior product because that's all I can afford. I want to be able to pay the extra money to be able to support Black people in their businesses because you got to pay extra sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes you do have to pay extra and you got to wait a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get myself into that space. But I had an epiphany last night. I've been really sleeping and having. I
thought you were married. No, just kidding.
I already told you, Todd, when one day it's going to be like, pow! You're going to be like, what happened? Todd is going to be, we're going to come in here and Todd is going to be sitting in the chair, laid out under the peace, love, and clean water. And the president is going to be walking out the door like, and we're going to be like, what happened?
Maze, I don't mind being the Stan Laurel to your Oliver Hardy.
So, I don't know. What did you say?
Laurel and Hardy.
Oh, okay. Let me tell you. But I forgot. See what you made me do?
You was talking about reading books and something about the weekend.
You been sleeping?
Oh, I was.
You were sleeping with Epiphany.
I had an epiphany.
Oh, right.
Part of why I do what I do is so I could do it with who I want to do it with.
Right.
Yep.
Like I don't want. One of the reasons that one of the views of success that I have is that to be in my own space and to be in my own space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now I'm at a point where I have the pleasure of working with who I want to work with. And if I don't, I'm not obligated. And that is a freedom that I have looked a level of success that I have worked for. And so I think I'm going to exercise it. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Boys, step aside. The radio rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people. people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black
WIFTVPM.
What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people.
This is the Maze Jackson Show. No, Carrie, I'm gonna tell you, Carrie, Christine still did the work. Carrie, I promise you, I wish I had Carrie was my was stepmom to my kids early in the game, cause she'd be like, what did you say? What was we talking? Todd said something to Hans, and Hans asked him a question back.
How you know it was us?
How you know it was us? You know, I could see my kids probably trying to pull that. To me, I cannot see them trying to pull it with Carrie. Carrie be like, hold on, come here. Ruthie was like, she seems so nice. Man, Carrie and Christine, you do not want to see Carrie and Christine when they come out, because Carrie is her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carrie will tell me stories about how her mom was, and Carrie is that exactly. She'd be like, oh no, like my kids will get away with me with murder. She'd be like, come here. And they'd be like, I'd be like, dang. I'd be like, now, how do I handle this? I'd be like, could you tell me what I should do right now? She'd be like, now this is what because I'd be like, dang. She always be like, you should have said. I'd be like, dang, I wish I would have thought of that.
Right.
Dang. I'm like soft. I'm like the punk in the whole place. All right, y'all. Black success. So, do we have any examples of black successful people?
People say Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson is an example of black success.
Frank Clark.
Do you think people know who Frank Clark is? Frank Clark was the black president of ComEds. Okay. Mr. Higginbottom.
Oh, do people have to know these people?
Yeah, no. Mr. Higginbottom is probably, in my estimation, the most successful black person in the city right now. Like, self-made, like, can employ, like, Mr. H can make you. Is there any black people who can make you? Like, who could pick up the phone and be like, we're going to help this guy.
Right. Larry Huggins. The Rands.
Okay. The Rands.
Jim Reynolds.
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm thinking of his face. John Rogers.
There you go. John Rogers. Man.
Oh, yeah,
Melody Hobson.
That's a good one.
So the Rogers. This is a now what's the tier 2? Who's next? Who up next?
Oh, you're talking tier 2 of successful?
Mm-hmm.
What about non-wealth?
What? What's that?
Non-wealth success. What does that look like?
What is that?
Hey, I guess
happy at home. I mean, I think.
Yeah, can we name some?
Oh,
people?
you mean like?
Yeah, like can we
like
measure
President
success?
Jones?
That's a tough one, right? Thinking of it in a non-wealth.
I think that I would say that most people we see successful, we deem successful, have a house, car, and they got their kids running around on the weekends. Like I would say that, like, most black folks consider would you consider if you have a house or a nice apartment, a car, $120,000 salary, maybe dual income, 300.
Oh, you are successful.
I think there's a
300.
lot of successful people we don't know about though.
Yeah, no, well, but just 300, but that's not successful. See, that's my point. Like 2 people in the house making $120,000 a year.
No, I don't mean that. I mean that there's black people who are successful that we don't know about because they don't care. They don't care if you know.
Right, and they're not black. They're not. Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but I would argue that most of us don't know what success is. That's really my point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rich people, and I would argue that we don't know how to become successful. Like, no, honestly. That is not and when I say that we don't know how to become successful, I would tell you that there was a time when I had a check for $1 million and it was gone in 9 months.
Did you cash it or you deposited it?
I deposited it.
Okay.
But I might as well have cashed it.
Like an actual check for
it was
$1 million.
It was
but it was for you to do
checks.
business.
It was 10 checks for $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So at 10 checks for $100,000, but it was to do business. But in that process, I was able to do the business, but I wasn't successful in doing business. Right? Because that ultimately should have had a net profit of, let's say, $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
But because I didn't know because my idea of success was being able to be at the click and buy bottles and wear chains and have 5 cars and have a staff that was kicking it with me. My idea of I didn't know how to turn that $1 million into success that became long-term success. So I'm not defending the statement. I am going to suggest that we don't know what success is. If I say that we don't know what success is and I ask you what is the first thing that a black person tells you they want to do when they say they want to start a business? They want to start a nonprofit. Success. Because their idea of success is the person that they saw driving through their neighborhood who was making social service dollars, right? When we pay, I ran a community health center, a FQHC. We gave the executive director a raise. His next purchase was a Mercedes-Benz truck. Right? Now, he had the salary, he made it. But again, the idea of success for us is, I don't think we know how. We invest in depreciating assets. Rich dad, poor dad.
Right.
And so when the dude says they gotta want to be successful, I gotta question, do we know how to be successful and do we know what success really looks like? What is your idea of black success? Who have you seen successful?
Oh, I've always said that's part of our problem. We don't see successful people riding in our neighborhood, living down the street.
Success, the person you see successful, and what do we value as success?
Because I see people with money who be screwed up, and I don't consider that to be success. You just got some money.
And right. Think about this. Remember Chris Rock just said he found out a lot of his wealthy Hollywood friends ain't successful. They trying to sell him his cars. Now, I am.
No, they were successful, but they were foolish.
No, they weren't foolish. They didn't even know how. Right? Like, again, we see the story time and time again of a guy with $100 million who, again, in our mind is successful. You achieve $100 million. Yeah, you successful, but do you know how to be? You have had a success. But do you know how to be successful?
Education. Man, that education sure could come in handy right now.
I'm not debating it. I'm not arguing it. I'm not arguing it at all. What I am arguing is that we have been undereducated.
I agree.
We have been undereducated to understand what success is. So when somebody's having these conversations, of course we take offense, but we still don't know how to get to that. You're offended because he basically saying, damn, they don't even know what they're doing. Now,
yeah, but that is something that the government has been pushing forever.
Whose government?
The national government.
Exactly. And right now, even as we talk, what did you talk about, Ruthie? You said was the number one driver for the people that you talk to, the black males that are doing what they doing?
Economics.
Economic success. They ain't caring about racism. They don't even know the history of the brown shirts.
let me just tell that little anecdote real quick. So I've been really like super intrigued by like the whole black men and Trump type of thing.
Is
right?
there a real thing? Do you think it's a real thing?
Absolutely. So it was. So I said, let me just poll the black men that I personally know that ain't really feeling the Democratic Party right now. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's to it. Like why are all these black men gravitating toward this? And it's economics. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing but economics.
Because most brothers ain't got time to worry about racism if they can't pay their bills. Again, success for the average black man is just being able. I don't even know if people even know what it's like to have money left over at the end of the month without feeling like something else is coming.
It's been a long time for me.
It's been the Maze Jackson Show. What is success? Do we even know it? We'll talk about it when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIFTVPN.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. So many politicians are bought by special interests and major corporations instead of the citizens who elected them. I will not be bought. I will finance my own campaign in good faith to the voters of Illinois and promise to serve with integrity at all times. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you
You know what
know?
I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. You know, however, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIFTVPN.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
WIFTBPM.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, Sonia, Escobar. A couple things. I want to read something to you that came out. Shout out to my girl, Shia Kapos. Shia Kapos is the local editor of Playbook, which is Illinois Political. Y'all should subscribe to Political, too. After you subscribe to the Maze Jackson, to the What's in It for the Black People newsletter, go to the Maze Jackson page. But Todd, they were talking about the number of Chicagoans or Illinoisans who are going to be working in who potentially are going to be going to the Joe Biden administration if and when he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. So I want to read a list to you.
Oh, I need you to have my resume passed to somebody.
No, let me read this list to you. Okay.
Ruthie, that's what you do.
I'll update it for you, Todd.
No,
Okay.
I'm talking about your resume. That's how you get there. You can't say, hey, get us to the game.
Okay, here we go. Wild card, Rahm Emanuel. What role will he play in the Biden administration?
Oh, man. He passed that thing.
Johannes Abraham. Valerie Jarrett's former chief of staff.
Oh.
Sheila Nix.
Who's that?
She was Biden and Harris's campaign advisor, but she used to work for Rod Blagojevich. A lot of people erased that.
Oh.
Tammy Duckworth, who they are looking at as the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, which could be very interesting. I'm hearing that if Tammy Duckworth takes that spot, that the governor's office is leaning heavily towards appointing Christian Mitchell to the U.S. Senate seat.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Shortcut.
Political move, I guess that's probably be kind of smart for him.
Potentially Janice Jackson as the head of the Secretary of Education.
Come on now.
Chris Dunn.
Really?
Claudia Chavez, Midwest Deputy Director. Bill Dorr, who runs the delegate operations. Kayla Joyce, Jake Braun. Melody Hobson, who may become possibly U.S. Secretary of Treasury. Laura Ricketts. Smita Shah. John Kelly. Remember, we heard John Kelly's name, $12 million lobbyist. Becky Carroll.
Yeah, he's going to become the ambassador to Ireland or something.
Becky Carroll, who is also, she worked on the mayor's campaign and then got a big chunk of the O'Hare minority contracting deal. I think part of the deal that put George Daniels out of Midway Airport. Trisha Rooney, and then business consultant Rayad Kazmi, who is actually married to Anna Valencia. With the exception of Melody Hobson and Janice Jackson, though, what I want to point out is the dearth of local black people who are participating. So I just need to point out to all of the black political operatives who be running around here Bidened up and Joe Biden, like, Negro, you not at the meeting. Like, it's just funny to me because it's so many of us that put it on our ship, and you willing to dog black people that you know that have been supportive to you, and you ain't even at the meeting. And here you go with the Rayad Cosme thing. I'm not tripping, but he is an African American that they're pushing. It's really, but Africa from the continent, but also from the northern part of the continent.
Mm-mm.
And he has assumed the
You
black
mean like
states.
Algiers?
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Oh.
Right? But again, leapfrogged all the black political operatives local.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like y'all be cheering for y'all own demise. The same people that be walking in your rooms be taking your lunch. I'm just saying. Like do you think about all of the black people from Chicago who did not get a part of the Obama piece and all the white people that did?
Mm-hmm.
Who are some names that we should be seeing on that list?
I would tell you that you shouldn't. Because, again, remember I told you they keep black political operatives undereducated.
Ooh.
Right? So you shouldn't. Because, again, most of these people, and you notice, like, they're definitely, where you'll see somebody black in a campaign is on the field operations. Right? You're not going to see black people in a position to connect with the money and the power. Right? So, again, when you read the list, Melody Hobson, well, of course, George Lucas, multi-billionaire, right? John Rogers. You see Janet Jackson, you know, we can't trust. You got to put her name up there so we can say something. But I love Janet Jackson. I do. I really do. But again, for the black political operative, who is the black fundraiser? Who's the black bundler? None. I bet you all the black people gave their money to white bundlers so that they didn't even make a black bundler. Right? So there's no power black person in the fundraising space in the Democratic Party. I want to be successful. I just need to put a cherry on your Kushner conversation. Because while he's talking about, you have to want to be successful, I would suggest that you would think that the Democratic Party here in Illinois, wouldn't you think Illinois would be the prime place to get political operatives and black people to ascend? No, you wouldn't.
But you're right. You have to want to see people successful. So when Bill Clinton won, my dad passed on resumes to the Clinton people. And if Al Gore had won, he'd have passed some more resumes. But,
But again, here's the difference, though. That you talking about passing resumes after it's done. These people are guaranteeing their spot now.
Mm-hmm.
They're guaranteeing their influence now. Yeah, it's like I really need y'all to understand that as long as the cupboard stays bare, right? We don't put our own people up.
Right.
There are no, I promise you, name a black fundraiser. Name a black fundraiser that can help black people. You can't, because no black people will hire none.
Right. That's
black people
self-fulfilling prophecy.
If the black elected official said, don't nobody give no money to nobody but that black kid right there, and he's gonna give all the black money from Chicago to that black kid, you now have a black bundler that can call every millionaire around the country. We don't have that.
Right.
So now what you essentially find is that these white folks that have put themselves in play now become our conduit to get to the president's office instead of our own person that we created.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to call some dude from some other state to ask him, you put over black people's access a person that calls himself African American, and that's who because he make the white folks comfortable. So I'm gonna ask you, where's your black fundraising teams? All the black political operatives, all the ones that got time to be Facebooking, all the ones that got time to be running around talking about where you at on the list? Where you at? Did you get invited to this meeting? Tell me how the Midwest State Directive, y'all that important, how is it that it's a Latina running the whole joint? Where's the black person that's running anything in the state? Campaign chair, vice chair? What you got? Where we fit in the president's race? Now, I'm going to segue this into the last story that I want to talk about, which is the move of Anthony Riccio. Remember him? He was the chief of detectives.
Oh, right.
And Fred Waller. Remember Fred Waller? He was the black head of patrol, ran out of office by Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Patrol, yep.
He just recently joined Monterey Security. And in case you don't know who Monterey Security is the security company that was founded by Juan Gaitan, who is also related to Alderman Danny Solis. He was at one point on the mayor's security detail, and he was running a security company. A news story came out. He had to leave the mayor's security detail, went on to create what is one of the largest security companies in the world at this point. Monterey Security. Can't go to nothing in Illinois without seeing Monterey Security. Right? Can't do it. Bears, they have expanded now nationally. So now they do stadiums and everything around the country. Right here. Fred Waller, arguably the second highest ranking black police officer, left City Hall, retired, got a pension, and then went to go work for Monterey Security.
As executives, not as security guards.
As executives.
Put that out there.
Multiple $100,000 a year executives. Where do black people go to retire? I just want to think about that because, as we think about the quagmire, Fred Waller, who would have been an asset to any security company in the world, went to go work for the Latinos. Where's the black security company? Where do black people go to retire? All of our years of expertise, investment in the police force, information about black communities, what strategies work, all of that infrastructure goes to who? Not our community. Where do black people go to retire? You want to know why people die in office?
Because they ain't got no retirement plan.
Because they ain't got nowhere to go to retire. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, you already know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIIFTBPM. WIIFTBPM.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, Maze Jackson, 1570 a.m. It is What's in It for the Black People Radio live on WBGX. That's right, 1570 a.m. 872-259-7474. Where do black people go to retire? I've told you this multiple times. I talk about this all the time because every time I think about, first of all, I'm grateful for racism because it gives me Todd Stroger. I am. But I am hateful for racism because it gives me Todd Stroger.
Mm-hmm.
When I read the story of Fred Waller going to work for Monterey Security, and I ain't got no shade for Monterey Security, it was just another reiteration of how our best and brightest to shine have to leave us to go work for somebody else. You know, I think about the fact that Fred Waller went to go become a high-level executive at a
politically connected security firm.
Yep.
Who, by the way, got a no-bid contract during the uprisings.
Right. To patrol our neighborhoods. Now, guess what? You think it ain't going to come back? Think about the best and brightest knowledge of our community in a police strategy intelligence way going to a Latino company. Think about that. And having been in that experience, they're going to use your expertise. I lived that.
Right.
Right? I lived that and it's like when you in the game, it's like, bro, they pay. Now, imagine if you getting $500,000 a year. 500 plus benefits, plus bennies, plus all of that. But you get the brain trust, you get the criminal brain trust of the black community in your office daily. Where do black people go to retire? Where?
You know, the only time, well, I should say the only time, but the time that stands out in my head, my dad was really upset and really worked hard to defeat someone was when he worked against Tim Evans. Because he was like, man, we had something right in our hand, and then we gave it to somebody else.
Think about the fact that you want to know why black people die in office and they won't never retire? Because there's nowhere for them to go.
I thought it was just because they didn't want to do
they ain't got nothing.
plans.
Let me add, no.
But see how that affects us?
That's the reason I mentioned that about having something in your hand. When you have something, then you try to build from that thing. So we had an office that was the most powerful, literally, in the state besides the governor. And then you try to build out from that. But once we lost it, we never got anything that powerful again, and there's nothing to build on. So everybody's just kind of like floundering around waiting for a white guy to say, hey, come here.
But you know what? When Mayor Daley retired and went to work for the law company that brokered the meter deal, I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. But when I investigated it more, that's so normal. It's the Chicago way.
You create your job.
It's the national way.
It's the white national way. It's the white national way because black folks too scared to help everybody because every time you talk to them, they be like, oh my God, I can't help you. Or they don't want to see you do it. Understand.
Or they don't want to see, like you're saying, they don't want to see anybody see them help you.
But here's the deal. No black elected official has created themselves a landing spot.
Right.
Like so in your ability to make every one of these white people rich that come in front of you and sit down, once you are of no value to them, guess what? Once you lose your job, once you are no longer elected, they see how it works. You don't count. Unless you created the ultimate black law firm, unless you created the ultimate top lobbying firm, when one white boy is taking $12 million off the table in lobbying, that's your job. That's our legacy that you're giving away. Can I tell you, you know what the first thing every time a black person quits or loses a job, you know the first person was to come reach out to him?
Who?
Victor Reyes. Think about that. So now, as soon as, and you know the first person black people went to when they couldn't figure out what to do?
Who?
Victor Reyes, your boy. Man, I'm out here, help me. Because he can't call nobody black.
Right.
The concept, we are so bass backwards. I was thinking yesterday, like, who's the black lobbying firm? Nobody black political thinks that it's good to work with black people. They will give you every social service agency in the world. Look, watch when they go down to Springfield and talk about this new black agenda. and white boys will be crawling all over them, and they will be applauding them, talking about how great it is, and no Negroes will still not eat.
You know, I always look at things strange. It's like a carousel. There's a
Take me off it.
A black guy will build a carousel, and the other people want to get on the carousel and get off. They don't want to be part of the structure of it itself. And without the structure, there's no true organization.
So,
You can't help anybody.
But what happens when slavery actually build the carousel?
Hey, y'all. We gotta have to. I know
Kill
what.
the master, live in this house.
Burn the whole damn thing down. This is the Maze Jackson
No,
Show.
then you living
Look,
outside.
Hey, you know what? We could build another one in a few years. Hey, this is the Maze Jackson Show. So for Todd, Stroger, Ruthie Moore, we win it. The pom-pom wins. Sonia Escobar, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day what's in it for the black people. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Stay tuned for the Book of Dawn.